Misha's in San Francisco. Hey. What's up, Misha? How you doing, man?
Hey, man.
Now, back to Steiny and Guru on 95.7 The Game.
I'm turning the mics on, everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Turn them
You
on.
better be careful.
Yep.
Turn them on.
Grandi's here. Dibley's here.
Dibley.
Guru continuing to linger.
I'm ready.
Shout out the cranberries.
Yeah.
Nice.
Thank you.
That's nice.
Do you have to let it linger?
They also have a
It's the
song.
90s.
They also have a song that
nobody cares about the cranberries.
Well, they also have a song that would fit oftentimes with Guru. It's called "Ridiculous Thoughts." They have a song
Don't
called
look at me.
"Ridiculous
Look at
Thoughts."
him.
Randy, I shake that off like
Square him
Mariah
up.
Carey.
Square him up on a payday Friday.
What's bugging you coming up in 10
Dude
minutes?
accused me of lying about. I went to James
Which
Logan
time?
High. Nancy Reagan came in the 80s, saw us when her husband was running the free world.
Just say no,
Yeah.
Goo.
A
joke.
What are you going to make
Macbeth.
up
I
here?
brought up Macbeth. He was like, "You didn't read it." Like, that's hurtful.
I asked him to name another character,
Then I said,
Mrs. Macbeth.
I said
and then he said Boo Radley of To Kill a Mockingbird.
no, that was to tell you another book that I had read.
Oh.
Exactly.
Well, then he would have said To Kill a Mockingbird.
Shout out, Boo.
Yeah. On Mount Boomore.
I don't know.
with Boo Weekly.
I don't know. What do you think, Grandi? Wiggins, big game tomorrow for Wiggins. Guru sees it in his eyes.
Don't feel forced to laugh. Don't be pressured to laugh. But go ahead. Do your natural laugh.
Wiggins? All right.
He'll get the opportunity, right, Grandi?
Yeah, he'll get a chance.
Yeah.
He always does.
There you go.
We'll see how it works. It's going to be more on Steph and Draymond and Kuminga than Wiggins.
Oh, by the way, I would like to apologize for something yesterday. I probably did go too far with Draymond Green, and God forbid he was listening and he might be mad at me.
Why would you say you? Do we even know, Grandi? You guys know if Steph's going to play tomorrow, but why would
He's
you have
expected to play tomorrow.
Yeah.
Why would you have to apologize? What did you say?
You know, I was trying to have some fun, and maybe, you know. And the one guy called and said, "You don't know that he's not
Oh,
hurt."
yeah, come on.
Of course, I don't know that he's not hurt.
Yeah.
But I know that he
Steph
tends
better play
I know
tomorrow,
that he
I'm
tends
hoping.
to ail more
Right.
when Steph doesn't play.
Yeah, my back.
That's all.
Yeah.
My neck and my back.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Spinal. Exactly.
What's going on with the players?
The players has been my guy, Wyndham Clark, with a big move early today in the second round. I believe he's at 12 under.
Okay.
7 under today. And, you're looking at Fitzpatrick and McNeely. Rory was supposed to make a move. And your guy, Scotty Scheffler, is 6 back, but Wyndham Clark, 14 under. Hello, friends.
You said your guy, Wyndham Clark?
Yeah, he's my pick this week in my fantasy golf pool.
Fantasy golf.
Fantasy golf, you pick 2 golfers every tournament, and whoever finishes better of your 2, you lose them for the year. That's the way it goes. And I'm partners with a friend of Steiny and mine, Luke Stoffenegger.
Oh.
You know Luke.
I do know Luke.
Yeah. And so he and I have had a team in this league
He's
for
been
about...
bugging me lately.
Oh, save it up at 2 o'clock. Luke Stoffenegger. What's bugging Steiny?
Try spelling that last
But
name.
yeah, it's
French.
Man, it's Stauffenegger.
Good God.
It's actually French and German. So he's got, as we talk about people who are from different backgrounds,
Right.
he's got the French and the German, Luke Stoffenegger. And
Now-
he's a P1 listener.
Now,
so.
Goo
What up, Luke?
doesn't like when I use first and last names. You say sometimes I should be careful about that. Now, you
The
think I'm trying to
government
pick
name.
on?
Yeah, the government
That's
name.
what he
Yeah.
calls it, the government
Some
name.
people don't like.
Right.
Some people
Well,
got jobs.
When you're talking nice about somebody, you can use it. But if I'm going to, like, for example, if Philmo Mike were to come in and
what a beauty.
and disrespect one of us,
right.
and if I came out and said, I got to tell you about, Michael Julius Johnson or whatever his name is,
Yeah.
I don't even know, that becomes a problem. So when you are disparaging, you should never use their government name.
Right.
But when you're praising, go ahead and do it.
But me being a former caller, we all have jobs. So if you say Daryl
Right.
Johnson, maybe the boss is listening.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
yeah, say DJ.
You actually still did it. You used, remember, this one always got me. You remember Juju Jumps High.
Of course, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
This is the guy who used to live in Oakland. I
Okay.
think he lives in Vegas now.
Right. He's
But I used to play.
disappeared.
I used to play off Twitter. Apparently, I used to
Yeah,
play
yeah.
basketball with him, and he could jump out of the
Right.
gym.
Right.
And he had a way of tweeting.
He did.
He had a way of tweeting that was like, what?
It was
And
edgy.
Oh.
And
so he would tweet, and I would translate.
Take it upon himself to translate.
I would translate.
Wow.
Because Juju would say, like, this blank is blank, and that and blank and blank
Richard
and blank.
Pryor.
Totally. And I would say, what Juju is saying is that
Right.
this individual has found his way to the hoop and has, exerted himself quite authoritatively toward the basket.
Well,
and then Jew would retweet it and be like, oh, yeah, you're hilarious and this and that. But he's mostly gone now.
Steiny, you were out the room. I asked Grandi about the state of
About
basketball.
Wiggins?
No, about
Oh, boy.
when are we going to get the next Larry Bird from French Lick, Indiana, or
Never.
Oakland? Like
Never.
right now, Jokic is running it.
No, never.
Giannis, Luka. We could just keep going. Like, boy, it's been a minute
For what?
for the next homegrown United States top tier basketball player.
U.S. Yeah, we stink. That's why. We're not coached. We got a bunch of guys growing up entitled. It ain't happening, bro. Read the room.
We got Jalen Green.
Oh, yeah.
Anthony Edwards.
He's a hard worker.
No, Edwards is a baller.
Yep.
Shame on me. Edwards, Steiny. Come on now. Even-
I turned you on to Edwards.
but we didn't know he's going to be this.
And Shea?
She's from Canada.
Shea is?
Yeah.
Never mind.
Boy.
Canada's like
Canada's
like America
team.
light.
Wiggins.
Grandy knows.
Canada
Wiggins
is
going to come to play in the Olympics. That's
Canada
what he's waiting
is
for.
Diet America.
Oh, boy.
Canada is everything that they wish that they were is about America.
Canada might be better than the United States.
Yeah, yet they
Murray.
Yeah.
Man.
They got
R.J.
Murray.
Barrett.
R.J. Barrett. He ate the Warriors for lunch earlier this
Wiggins.
year.
Yeah.
Wiggs.
If we're gonna talk Olympics real quick,
Serbia's the favorite
bet
in
your
basketball.
money on France right now. Just
Serbia.
early and often at home.
He's telling us Serbia over here, my guy, the young whippersnapper.
I mean, the bottom line is even with America, with their over 35 team, they're going to have their hands full.
wow, man.
By the way,
It's a universal game now.
but it's always been a young man's game, a young person's game. And we're finding that out now with our Warriors and with, you just look at you look at what's going on in the West. Draymond Green, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, LeBron James, Kevin Durant, who else?
Paul George.
Yeah. Kawhi Leonard.
Man.
They're done.
Yeah,
These guys are done.
But they got a
Their
million
time-
miles on them.
Night.
Well, not yet. Those
Night,
guys,
night. It's
some of those-
over.
the Lakers could easily get to the finals.
No,
Like,
they
I'm
can't.
not counting them.
They
down.
can't easily
The
get to
Warriors
the finals.
are not sitting with
If
AD
they get to the
LeBron.
finals, they will be gassed. They can't easily get to the finals. The Warriors can't easily get to the finals. They're too old. It will be drudgery to get to the finals. Doesn't mean they can't, but they cannot easy get it to the NBA finals. That's what we saw with the Warriors last year.
It should never be easy.
They go. I mean, just acknowledge the Warriors were gassed last year against the
I'm sorry.
Lakers.
Yep.
No, they were. They just say, Steiny, you're right.
Where I'm from, that
They
don't
were
even matter.
gassed.
They were a better team.
Curry was
had their
gassed.
kryptonite. A team that was just a bad matchup with size.
Too physical.
Starting with
Wore
LeBron
'em
James and
down.
Anthony Davis.
That's
And
why
they still
this-
should have won game one when Poole
No, they
did
shouldn't
what
have.
he did at the
Because
end.
Lonnie
LeBron
Walker the fourth.
LeBron thought it out. LeBron
Help me
won
out,
that
Grandi.
series with his mind.
Give me a double.
And he played chess, and Steph was still playing checkers.
You're trolling so hard right now.
Dude, he's
Stein.
getting, he's getting me.
All day.
All this deals. Thank
All
you.
day.
The trolling started with him early.
What?
What happened? Yeah, I missed
Steiny,
it.
you got curfew today?
That was an hour before the.
That's right. And it set me off.
Yeah, please.
Shout out that movie.
What's your curfew?
Latifah.
I have no curfew. I don't have. I'm a grown ass man.
Uh-oh.
Got no
Look at
curfew.
him.
All right.
Boy.
Better check your phone
Yeah,
after the
no
7-second
doubt.
Who's
delay.
out there today? Who's with me? Who wants to run with me today? That ought to get him going.
Who's going on a run?
Oh, boy.
You going to the cafeteria?
I'm going to many cafeterias.
Oh, boy. Look
Payday
at
don't,
him.
Friday.
I don't know what I'm doing. I'm a
Yeah,
game
boy.
time decision.
Yeah, boy.
Oh,
Hey,
just like Draymond on Wednesday, huh?
well, let's see how Steph feels.
Well, he was on Wednesday, but now he's expected to play because Steph is also.
Is this still as big a game as you thought? Or is it?
No. And I
heard
said
you-
this earlier in the week.
I heard you
It's-
driving Dibs.
and I hate
I'm
to like
telling
channel
you.
my inner Steiny, but you're not going to get to you're not going to get to the 8. And even if you would have beat Dallas, the way that you've shown us to be
Man.
as a team, it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back, 1 step forward, 2 steps back. When you lose to Chicago and San Antonio back-to-back after beating Milwaukee, then I'm good.
There's a price in that.
I'm good. And I know who you are and I know where you are. So get the 10 or maybe gut it out and get the 9. And then, yeah, you can go on a quote-unquote run, which would be win 2 games in the play-in, which you've never done before, and then go up against Denver and lose in 5.
I think they'll get one.
Yeah. Yeah, they win game 2 in Denver. They win on the road.
I could see, and then they will have won 1 out of 12 against Denver in the last 2 or 3 years.
Now is the number 1 seed.
But the Warriors win on the road.
Right.
So you split in Denver, and then we all come in and talk about, if they can hold serve. If they can hold serve at home.
Yeah, I remember that
and
one, too.
And then game 3, the Joker goes 38, 17, and 11, and you lose by 14, and then it's, oh boy, where were we again?
That was the big one last year. The Warriors won game 5. Oh, Steiny. All the pressure's on the Lakers here in game 6. They don't want to come back. And the Warriors, but we forgot they were gassed. And LeBron had something for them.
Yep.
That's why this Steph injury, little injury, maybe it's a blessing in disguise, huh?
No, I get that.
I mean, that's what Steve Kerr told us earlier this week. I don't know if you actually buy it or not.
Now that you said it, he's buying it.
No, I just gave you love. But, hey, I see that.
I don't know if you buy that?
Yeah, their problems are bigger than just Steph's endurance.
Yeah, I do buy it. I do. I don't think, 2 years ago when he got hurt it was either 11 or 13. I get the numbers mixed up. Yes, that helped him.
Came back game 1 of the postseason off the bench.
Yeah. I absolutely think it helped him. Maybe like Chris Paul right now might be fresher than he normally would be. But we got to move on. You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM and HD1 San Francisco. Always live in the free Odyssey app, Twitch and YouTube, powered by First NorCal Credit Union. All right, guys, it's time for What's Bugging You? And you know who it's brought to you by Go Pest Control. Grandi, you go first.
All right, what's bugging me today? So I know we're a little more downtown now in this new location. So a lot of us sometimes take BART.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, boy.
You get off the BART or you're going into BART, walking down the stairs, the escalator to get to the BART train. What's bugging me is when people on the escalator, they're with the person, they're with the group, and they stand shoulder to shoulder, blocking the whole escalator, or they got a bag, and it's blocking the whole escalator. So I can't get by without sounding like,
oh, boy. A
bad guy, right? Yeah. And I just got to squeeze by. I'm in a hurry. I got to get to work, got to get home. I got stuff to do, people to see. What's bugging me is people who are unaware of their surroundings and block public spaces and don't let me get to where I need to go. That's what's bugging me today.
Wow, look at Grandi.
Solid.
Yes.
He's a man on the move.
What I try to do is a gentle hand on the shoulder.
Oh, that could get
very
you
I
gentle.
don't really trying to touch random people
and then
in
you
public.
say, and then even though you don't want to say
I get up behind it, but then they got headphones on. They can't even hear me.
And then the words I hate to say, but just say, I'm sorry. Like, act all meek, and then they'll realize they're being the horses.
But at least they weren't on their phone, though, because that's what's happening now, too. People are just deer in headlights.
Yeah.
Walking across the street on their phone, dude.
And I'm thinking about
That's me.
What pass rusher had the best swim move? Was it Strahan?
Reggie White.
Reggie White with the swim.
I believe.
And I know he would come with the club, exactly. You got to get your swim move going.
Yeah, got to work on it.
Straight swim, and then you're
hit the practice
on to
field.
Cincinnati, exactly.
Lori Matthews, one of our favorites, says no touching, Steiny. Oh yeah,
I'm in agreement there.
Touching.
I'll get up behind him and I'll say like, excuse me or something. But
if 2 people are blocking an egress, and they have their back turned,
or an ingress,
and they have their back turned, and they're freaking oblivious, you can reach up and tap them on the shoulder. And you know what? Go ahead and punch me. I'll win the suit.
Wow.
I'll win that suit. Excuse me. Well, you know what? Okay, you know what's bugging me? Same thing that's been bugging me for 25 years. If you find yourself driving in the left-hand lane and you look to your right and you're not passing anybody, get out of the left-hand lane. It's that simple.
Wow.
Left-hand lane is a passing lane. It's not a lingering lane like Guru outside of a bar at 2 o'clock. It's a lane where you make a move. Left, pass, back into right. Stop lingering in the left-hand lane.
And you're never in the left-hand lane. I've ridden with you many, many times in your car, and you are very lane aware.
You got to be.
And you're not the fastest driver.
No.
But when you are driving more slowly than, I don't know, every other human being on that freeway, you are all the way to the right.
The
and I admire
original
that.
passing lane was only a passing lane.
I love it. Look at you. You're in your bag right now.
Which
Yeah.
reminds me, let me get my bag ready. Go ahead. What's bugging you?
You got 8 more minutes.
The eroding of our society in 1978 when you go get a thing called, and I'm body shaming myself here, but I can, fast food, you got it and left. You're getting it because you don't have time. I don't know if you guys have noticed. Sir, can you go over there and park? Why? It's fast food. Who is not doing what? Everybody's talking, phones. I'm looking in there. It's a good time and nobody's working. It just happened the other day. I was taking the wife to the doctor. Lord, forgive me. Why do I got to park and wait for fast food? That is not fast. What are we doing? Have one item of the picture on the menu ready to go. 1980s, they never told you, sir, can you pull over for what? And there's multiple cars now. It's like 3 or 4 people, like a drive-in. What has happened to fast food? What?
Dude,
I'm sorry.
You got air. You were jumping,
I'm
literally.
sorry.
Oh.
And they're laughing, searching you. Why? It's fast food.
Chris M. with the deadpan. They could be understaffed.
Okay. All right, guys. It's just
On the
my
YouTube.
good
Well done,
God.
Chris.
Oh, I'm sorry, dude.
Oh, no, I went last week, and I had the same experience. I didn't have to pull over, but I got my food, and I pull over, and I'm listening to you two, and I'm going to have my little early lunch, and I look, and the sandwich that I ordered, 1 bun. I got 1 bun.
Oh,
What do you mean?
There was a bottom bun. There was the filler object that
This
I
is
ordered.
terrible.
There was no top
Are
bun.
you saying
So you got
it was an
open-faced
open
toast.
face?
I got open-faced at this drive-thru, and so now I'm in a spot.
You
because
went back. You better.
I'm either 8th in line again, or I park and I go in and hit them with a, hey, I'm open-faced, and now they're like, oh, yeah, your bun's right over here. It's one of those ones where you eat it open-faced, and you chalk it up. You took the L. But, yeah, hearing you talk about that, yeah. And I guess that's what's bugging me because I can't follow what you just did.
Oh, boy. Just peep it next time you drive. Why do I have to pull over?
Yeah.
And then you're next to people you don't know, and they're looking at you, and you're looking, I just wanted some fries. Come on.
Yeah. And maybe they weren't ready. So, you pull over. And were you one of those guys who goes for the fries unsalted? That way you get them fresh? Because that was always Low Neal's go-to. Low Neal would go in and say, he would order, and he would say,
who knew.
thank you. He would say, yeah, let me get a large fry, but let me get those unsalted. Because when they make the fries and they put them in the big bin, they salt them immediately.
Wow.
So if you want fries that are unsalted, they're going to make them fresh for you. So you're guaranteed fresh fries. Wow. So you order, let me get fries unsalted, and then you get up to the window and you say, yeah, let me get some salt
Didn't
too.
know this. Wow.
And then they look at you like, I see you working. But that's like a fast food hack, but that might lead you to have to wait.
Evan just said something in my ear. I don't care. Tell Grandi to say it. I could care less.
I don't
this
know
guy is so...
What?
He's producing. What's
Breaking
wrong with
news?
you?
Yeah, so we're done with
I don't care.
Everyone got their what's bugging you in, right?
Yeah.
You got yours?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
The Rams are signing former Raiders and Niners quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo.
Big.
He's back
When
in the
is today
NFC
gonna
West.
be over?
Jimmy
Like,
G.
seriously.
Welcome back
When
to the
is today?
NFC West,
In
Jimmy.
L.A.
That's
Remember,
a steal.
you
he's
imagine?
suspended for 2 games for violating
Oh,
the
yeah. Well, they don't
PED
play the
policy.
Niners in the first 2.
We don't know yet.
don't know yet.
Oh,
We don't
yeah,
know yet.
thank you.
Schedule's not out yet. But
Could
Jimmy
you
G with
imagine
the
him
Rams.
coming back starting?
yeah,
the Rams, who I'm telling you, watch
Matthew
out for the
Stafford
Rams.
with a little bit of an elbow issue.
Oh,
It's my
man.
neck and my back. Jimmy G at Levi's against the Niners.
That Rams offense
Man.
gonna be good.
No
Seriously, don't sleep in the Rams,
Jimmy
Steiny.
G.
Well, how come we didn't have the breaking news sounder for that one?
Because you're not interested.
You would have just got mad.
Exactly. Eric Armstead has gotten a new
Jacksonville.
deal.
Yeah.
3 and 51.
$17 million
How
per
much
year.
of a pay cut do you think they asked him?
Well-
for him to be like, I'm up out of here.
They probably said, we're going to give you like 5. I don't know what they offered him, but it wasn't 17 per.
Right.
And, Armstead was, what, in the last year, Grandi, of his deal with the Niners? So
Yeah.
he was
But they
looking at...
they still owed him a ton of money because they had already previously restructured his contract twice. So they kept pushing off all their money for this year and next year.
Yep.
Yeah. Speaking of which, why would the Steelers, what do they got to lose outside of football games when Denver's paying all the most of the ticket? Like Pittsburgh, like, okay, hey, it didn't work out. They're paying you, bud. Like,
Yeah, it's smart.
That's exactly.
And Kenny Pickett's moved elsewhere. He's in Philadelphia now.
Yeah.
So Pickett to Philly, and quarterback carousel starting to spin.
There's a ton of mediocre quarterback movement right now.
Do the
Desmond
Niners
Ridder
add
to the Cardinals.
Oh,
Wow.
good call.
Yeah.
Do the Niners add another mediocre quarterback to back up Brock Purdy, or do they go just with?
They're going to
with
draft
Allen?
somebody. They have to.
Now, whether it's
Right.
the draft or a free agent sign, they're going to get somebody else.
Yeah, no doubt.
You can't go just with two. But.
And that 30 for 30 we thought with Fields and my guy in New England that got the axe. Who am I talking about?
Mac Jones.
Yeah, Mac Jones. That ended up being awful.
Yeah,
Had the hard times.
tough
for him
class,
right now.
and even
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence, number 1 overall.
Yeah.
He's on a little bit of uneasy footing
Right.
going into this year. So turns out the dream quarterback class was more of a nightmare.
Man.
And the next year's quarterback class, 2022 quarterback class, which was Brock Purdy's class, terrible as well. I don't know if you've looked at some of the names from that draft class. That was Kenny Pickett was the highest drafted quarterback in that
Right.
class.
And
it was like much later
I
in the
liked him
first
coming
round.
out of
When
10.
do
I
we,
can't
as a football society, start to look at what we're doing with these quarterbacks and think about the old days where you drafted a guy and you sat a guy? Like Aaron Rodgers, you sit for 2 or
Jordan
3.
Love.
But
Jordan Love, he
Aikman and
sat.
Peyton Manning and Elway all got
But
through in
look
the
at
fire.
Peyton Manning's career. He struggled early. He struggled mightily early. And, you're naming Hall of Famers. We're naming these guys who are mediocre. And so maybe when you draft a guy and you let him sit around a little bit, maybe he turns out to be better than if you throw him right in the fire.
Well, why are they even playing a game like this?
Because I've got
I love
South
Conference
Carolina is 26-6.
I've got them
Auburn
plus
is
13, that's why.
24-6, and they're
On a
playing a
teaser.
game
The
that
conference
means it
tourney.
means nothing.
Money.
Means nothing.
Money.
It actually means a lot. It means a lot.
It means seeding.
Well,
That's it.
I don't
And
know.
if you're a bottom
All right,
feeder,
I gotta
you can
go.
win it
South
and get
Carolina is
They're not bottom
Yeah,
feeders.
but
They're both
but if
top
the bottom
10 teams.
feeders
I gotta
take
go.
advantage
I
of
gotta
their
go. I
situation.
gotta
South
go.
Carolina's not a
You
top 10 team. They're number 5 in the conference. You understand that
They're
those are conference
26.
seedings.
Yes, yes, I do. They're 26-6. They're going to the NCAA
But if they lose,
tournament.
they're in the 8-9 game. If they win, they might be a 6 seed. That's a big difference, bro.
That's
You better
marginal.
recognize.
You're
I'll take
8-9.
that
You're
for
8-9.
data.
You win the first round. You could be playing the 1 seed in the next
Exactly.
round.
And I've got
Willard's
South,
not here. I don't even know why
he
I am.
I got the Gamecocks plus 13.
Well, look at my
That's,
guy.
On a teaser.
You're going to need a lot of help.
It's
in
an
the
uphill
second round.
battle.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we'll
it's
be
an uphill
listening.
battle. All right, Steiny. Cheer
Me and
up.
Steiny going for a walk.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Hit the cafeteria.
Yeah, boy.
But everybody's happy. I'm not.